He's going up, up, up to the morning. He's gonna be golden. Gonna be golden. Oh, he's going up, up to the morning. He's gonna be golden. Gonna be. I was smart this time. I set that 15-second timer this time so I wouldn't cuss in the first 15 seconds of the show, so my show doesn't get throttled. They're already throttling us in the algorithm, homies. It's bad news. I've been back for like 3 weeks after a almost 2.5 year hiatus, and they're already throttling me in the algorithm. My homie got no views on the video last week. No views. There's one courtesy view, and I just gave that to myself because I was feeling sorry for myself. I kept checking for the last 8 days. No views. 0 views. So listen, I blame that on myself. Cussing in the first, 5 seconds. It wasn't even 5 seconds. The first word out of my mouth was the F word. So maybe I did myself in. I had 10 the week before. And that's like a 1,000% decrease or something like that. No views. It was just talking to myself. Hit that Eminem song. Am I just talking to myself? That's okay. The good news about having no views is that I can only go up from here. There's no way I can't go lower. I'm at rock bottom. Hit that Slim Shady LP. I'm at rock bottom. Now everybody on my block's got them. So I can only go up from here. So that's the good news. When in life you get hit with some ones, twos, and you get kind of dinked up a little bit, you just gotta take the positive sometimes. You gotta find the positive out of every situation, no matter how dark and disturbing and fucked up you are. Look, that was probably like a solid minute into the show, so I can't be. Hopefully this week, I won't be throttled, from the language from the cussing police. But welcome to the Whiskey Sick Podcast. We're back again this week. I'm gonna keep it light this week. I got this janky. Welcome to the jankiest podcast ever. I mean, this is as janky as it gets. I'm in the kids' room over here, looking like the old nursery. I shaved today so I don't look like Joe Budden. I got the kids' books propping up the microphone over here. I got this little janky ass box fan getting a little breeze on me over here so I don't sweat on the computer. But hey, look, I do it for y'all. I do it for the love. I do it for the honey, not for the money, obviously, because I didn't get nobody watching this shit last week. But we're gonna do some fight night stuff this week. We got a dope one up here, as you can see. This is the shitting at work. This is my WordPress right here. This is like my blog that I write. You can go back to, let's see here. You can go all the way. I mean, let's go. What are we on here? Walter Walker. I mean, look at all these. We can go all the way back to Poirier versus Oliveira. I got one since 2020. Every single UFC has been covered on here. Every single UFC. You want to see what I thought? You want to see all the picks? You want to go back all that? I got the new one up right now. Ulberg versus. This shit is on some funny ass shit. I'll read you this one. You want me to give you a sample? I'm going to give you a sample of how I write. I'm going to give you a sample of the shitting at work WordPress. You can just close your eyes and think of this as the audio book. The audio book version of my WordPress UFC blog here that I write. I write for Line Star app. Go check them out. Line Star app. They're a fantasy sports company. Any sports you want. You want MMA, you want NASCAR, golf. If you're really deep into that shit, into fantasy sports, this is a spot. They got all the algorithms for you. They got, to put your little stacks together on your fantasy sports leagues and whatever you're playing in. Go check them out. LineStarApp.com. Here, let me show you. Let me give them a shout out. There it is. Line Star app right here. Go check them out. They got everything you want. Fantasy projections. You want baseball this week? Look, let's check out baseball. Who do they got? They got ranked up here. Let me move my little self down here. Let me move my little self up here. Look at this. Oswald Peraza. What they got him? They got him with a scoring five fantasy points projected to this today. Okay. But here you go. You got the UFC. right here. Let's go over UFC. We got the Ulberg. We got projection for, Jake Matthews, 102 points projection here. Navajo Sterling, go all the way down. You can get. Oh, I'm not logged into my premium account, but you get the idea. Go check this shit out. This shit's dope, and this is how you can subscribe to my newsletter in here and all the shit that I do in here, or you can just go on to my right here. Let's check this shit out. I ran into the house, sure I wouldn't make it. After an hour stuck in traffic, clenching my cheeks, I burst through the door and was hit by a blast of warm air. That should have tipped me off. On the way to the bathroom, I checked the thermostat. It was set to 80. Who changed it? I tried to reset it to 70, but the passcode prompt flashed. Enter passcode. I punched in 1996, the year the Cowboys last won the Super Bowl. But it just beeped angrily at me, still flashing enter passcode. I retyped the code, and once again the little box beeped its discontent. Enter passcode. What the fuck? On my way back into the living room, I made a stop at the fridge, peering inside and exclaimed, "Shit!" After checking behind and lifting every piece of Tupperware, the last 2 Guinness I had been saving were gone. On my way to the living room, I dropped another quarter in the swear jar. Dejected, I plopped down on my faithful lazy boy. No sooner had both cheeks contacted the cracked, fading leather than I jumped back to my feet. Something wasn't right. My ass groove. It was lumpy and misshapen, as if an ass other than my own had taken a load off. Sitting back down, I tried wiggling back and forth, almost like I was administering a lap dance to an invisible patron. I was twerking. After a short time, my efforts relented and defeated. I leaned over, reaching blindly for the remote. You can probably guess the result. I came away empty-handed. The remote wasn't in its usual spot on the side table. After a couple of long strides, I was out back, hands on my hips, staring a hole through my wife, who was lounging in a sun chair with one of my Guinness sweating on the ground next to her. She hates Guinness. I know what you're thinking right now. What the fuck does this have to do with fights? Stay with me. A soft swirling sound like the gentle movement of koi fish in a pond brought my attention to the pool behind me. I don't really have a pool. Rocking nothing but swim shorts, closer to chonies and shorts, with a Guinness in one hand and a long pole with a little net at the end in the other, was Carlos Ulberg. After taking a swig, he looked at me and said, 9876. I knew he was talking about the thermostat. On my way to grab a bar stool to place in the corner of the yard to watch the proceedings, the alarm went off, and B.I.G. was bellowing, "It was all a dream!" Your worst nightmare is coming home and finding Carlos Ulberg chest naked with a long net in his hand skimming the surface of your pool while wifey is sitting poolside reading Les Miserables. And wifey hates reading. That's Mr. Ulberg to you. You've heard of Mr. Steal Your Betty? You've heard of Mr. Steal Your Betty? I'm terrible at this audiobook shit. This shit's harder than it looks, man. It doesn't help that I'm high and got cotton mouth and stumbling on my words. And wifey hates reading. That's Mr. Ulberg to you. You've heard about Mr. Steal Your Betty? Well, he is him. He's one of them ones. He will steal your consciousness, then use a 5-finger discount at checkout, valid for 1 free Betty per customer. My man is the human Bermuda Triangle of Betty disappearances. He's the Billy the Kid of Betty disappearances. Instead of robbing Stagecoach, he's robbing Betty's from you, homie. They got wanted posters of this motherfucker. My man, if a Betty walks within eyesight of Carlos Ulberg, she's gone. Ulberg will turn your ass into Milhouse's dad, sleeping in a cracker factory real quick. He'll turn your ass into a country singer, belting out songs about how she left you with nothing but a broken heart, a fooked up ass groove, and an old pickup truck. And the worst part is there ain't shit you can do about it. You just have to accept that your kids will soon be calling you by your government name, Richard. Or can I call you Dick? Can you pick me up at soccer? Can you pick me up from soccer at 6:30? Because this guy will KO you quicker than gypsies fall in love. Stand-up wise, Ulberg possesses the 2 elements they didn't teach you in chemistry class. LE, length, and SP, speed. They are volatile when combined, unstable isotopes. Ulberg throws nothing but straight hooks, no chaser, and his special power is manipulating range. Ulberg depends on range like old people's underoos. The last thing Ulberg is a combination pocket striker. He needs space to unravel his long punches. His hands are naturally fast, but they also get a head start on the target. Ulberg uses hand position. Ulberg's hand position is the key to his speed. His hands lead off like runners on third base with the pitcher in the windup. He holds his hands halfway extended and snaps them the rest of the way like this. You see a lot of this with these Australian and New Zealand fighters. You know, they have their hands already out here, so all they have to do. How am I getting here? There you go. I'm getting here. So all you have to do is nice and short. Ding. It's nice and short. Ding, 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 ding. But they're already here. Boom. It's just nice and short. Look, pop. See that shit? Makes your hands. If you already got quick hands, and you start throwing short little punches like that, you know, makes them even quicker. The trade-off, though, is you don't have your hands here to protect yourself, right? Hooks can get around real easily. You be good at, defending strikes up the middle, that Anderson Silva shit, but getting around is going to have to be, slick. Where was I? Ulberg is 12-1 with 7 TKOs. Let's move on to we'll finish this. TKOs and 1 sub, and is currently riding an 8-fight dub streak since dropping his debut to Kennedy and Chukwui. Against Dominic Reyes, Ulberg has to be aggressive like he was early in his career. Lately, he's been playing it safe like bank vaults. His previous 2 dubs were decisions, and his most recent bout against Jan Blachowicz had me politicking with Mary Jane in the garage midway through. No lies. Dominic Reyes was an inside job. A special Dominic Cruz commission was convened after his loss to Ryan Spann, which determined that a single Spann jab caused Reyes' collapse. But the public has rejected those results, citing the fact that a jab and only a jab could not cause Reyes to descend into his own footprint at free fall speeds. After the Ryan Spann fight, Reyes became a walking conspiracy theory. I began calling him Controlled Demolition Man, aka Building 8. That was the 4th consecutive loss for Reyes at the time, including 3 TKO KOs in a row. It was a bad stretch like pulling a groin. Yuri folded Reyes like Marilyn Manson after having a rib removed, and Ryan Spann collapsed him at a rate of 9.8 meters per second. Now hit that LL Cool J Mama said knock you out. Don't call it a comeback. Dom is on 1 fight away from exchanging a 4-fight losing streak for a 4-fight dub streak. This is a man who should have been a former champ. Against John Jones, the judges snatched his belt like Kanye snatched the mic from Taylor Swift at the Grammys. Reyes has always been a formidable boxer. Even against Yuri, Dominic had big moments. He had Yuri rocked twice in that fight. Dom's major malfunction is that he's one-dimensional. He's all boxing, and all that boxing consists mostly of a left hand. Remember, he had Yuri knocked out with an up kick, a flash knockout with an up kick. Basically collapsed in Reyes' guard, unconscious, and he had him hurt on the feet before that. Reyes swings consists mostly of left hands. Reyes works swings at Los Pollos Hermanos. He's a classic Gus Fring striker because Gus Fring gets half his body blown off. Spoiler alert. Dom strikes like he's missing half his body, like it's not there. It's like Dom is a conjoined twin and only has control of his left hand. His sibling controls the right hand and staunchly refuses to participate in any form of violence. But Dom has finished 3 fights in a row. Against Ulberg, Reyes will be the one. Against Ulberg, Reyes will be the one to take risks after the first round, while Ulberg tends to become too conservative. Reyes throws combinations more consistently than Ulberg. Ulberg's a more one punch striker, especially after the first round. If he can't get you out there with his speed and like some kind of crazy, thing, it kind of settles into a real slow kickboxing match. He likes to a real controlled environment. He doesn't like chaos. He wants to avoid chaos. He doesn't want to get into a pocket firefight in the pocket. Reyes wants to get into a firefight in the pocket. That's where he can draw Reyes out. Where he can get Ulberg out get Ulberg. Those long punches. Ulberg he has long strikes. He needs range for that. Dom can strike at range really well, but he's more range. The range, if it's going to be fought at range, is going to be all Ulberg. Ulberg's going to be able to control the exchanges and fight at his pace. Reyes needs to get inside and push the pace. I think Ulberg's going to be an early threat, finishing threat, and I think Reyes will be a threat throughout. I think his power and his ability to finish the fight will at least drag out further into the round. We've seen Reyes in championship round. We've seen him in 5-round fight against John Jones. I thought he won the first 3 rounds of that fight. This is a solid fantasy matchup. Okay, so we got Ulberg is the minus 240 favorite. Reyes will be the plus 200 live ass dog. Overall, Reyes is the better boxer, but Ulberg's speed is his advantage. Reyes can make this an ugly fight, pressuring Ulberg against the cage and dirty boxing in the clinch. So, we got back in the main event dub column when Diego Lopez stomped out another fighting nerd and returned the world back into the hands of the bullies again. This week is a toss-up. The odds are wild to me. This is a pick-em. That plus 200, I think it might even be higher now. Plus 200 next to Reyes' name is too tempting to pass up. Give me the dog, Reyes TKO round 3. Look. So that's a little sample, man. Did I not put the odds on this one? I didn't put the straight up odds on this one. Let's look them up right now. That's why we got this shit. That's why we got this shit. Get that Bovada up. Get that Bovada up. Get that Bovada up. Let's see what we got. Gonna be golden. Oh, gonna be golden. You know how the fuck we do, man. I'm all in my own way with this shit. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Okay. Put my ass back up here. -2. Yeah, he's still plus 200. So look, listen. I think the dog. Listen, the experience. If you go to the experience, the big fight experience goes to Dom. I like Ulberg. I think Ulberg, lately he hasn't been, he barely got by Jan Blachowicz. That was not a very good fight. Volkan Ozdemir also. The Alonzo Menifil fight right here, man. That was just 30 seconds of just not even 12 seconds. Menifil, if you remember that, Menifil just ran across the cage like Kat Zingano did against Ronda Rousey back in the day. Remember the fight started and Kat Zingano ran across the cage and like threw herself onto Ronda. Ronda like hip tossed her and then armbarred her right away. That's basically what Alonzo Menifil did. He thought he never go full Kat Zingano. Alonzo Menifil came out there and ran right into a jab or some shit and got knocked out. Da Woo Jung, you're looking at at this guy's dubs and they're not. I mean, look at these. None of these guys are in the UFC still. Nikolai, look at that name. I ain't going down that road. Nice try. That's a setup right there. That's a setup, sure dog, trying to get me to try to say that name. Get me really hit up in the algorithm trying to say that. Iho Potieria, good hand speed, but not a very good fighter. Da Woon Jung, I don't even think he's in the UFC anymore. So these last two guys, those were his steps up in competition. Good win to beat a guy like Jan. Not trying to hate. I just don't see the aggression doesn't translate into later rounds. He starts to play it safe after a little while, and he just wants a nice technical match. I like Reyes, man. I think he uses elbows inside, commits to combinations better. I think he can dirty box in the clinch, push Ulberg up against the cage. For Reyes, I think Reyes should slow play this. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but I think he should slow play this fight a little bit and try to get this into the second round, third round, and then go from there. Uh-oh. My back? No. Fuck. Let's go. Let's see. My fucking camera just stopped recording. We can talk this. WSP, whatever. Damn. Are you kidding me? Ain't that some shit? We'll try to fix that. Let's do a new movie recording. Hit me up. Alright, I'm back. Look, I don't know what just happened. My webcam just shut off on me, so I'm gonna have to try to piece these things together. Hopefully that'll work. I don't know, man. What a bunch of shit. This is 2 weeks in a row this is done to me. I told you. I tried to warn you. This is the jankiest motherfucking podcast you could ever watch, but whatever. It's a work in progress, homie. It's work in progress. Let's move on. Damn it. Now I gotta go back here and float. Damn. I'm a mess, homies. I'm a fucking mess. Alright, we got Jack Jenkins. I don't know. I think Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Urslan was a co-main event. I don't know who the co-main event is. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares. This is dope. Jack Jenkins, this motherfucker's like Edward Scissorhands, but with his legs. He's got Edward Scissorhands on his legs. Edward Scissor Feet. That's what this guy is. Jack Jenkins is Edward Scissors Feet. This guy will decapitate your ankles so quick when the blood spills, it's still blue. This guy will fuck up your legs, have you walking around like FDR, like Jimmy Vollmer on those little fucking wrist crutches thing, going to the school talent show. Tink, tink, tinking all around fucking town and give you those you'll be aerating lawns on the weekend with your fucking peg legs, like a fucking side job, like kids with a lemonade stand when you fight Jack Jenkins. This guy will bust you. You'll be walking away with some fucking wooden legs after you fight this guy. Call the motherfucking Orkin man. You're gonna have some fucking termite legs, old termite legs when this guy gets to you, man. Fucking you have legs like George Washington's teeth, fucking wooden teeth shit. This guy, go back and watch what he did to Herbert Burns, man. He had Herbert looking in all sorts. He looked, you know how he had Herbert Burns? He had Herbert Burns looking like Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street when he was gone off those Quaaludes trying to crawl to the Lambo and shit, and he's like dragging his legs behind him, looking like Rick James when he got his legs beat on the couch and shit. That's how fucking Herbert Burns looked in that fight after getting the shit kicked out of his leg. He had to hook up all the old colostomy bags to his legs because he got that shit kicked out of him. Just crawling. He looked like Jackie O crawling out the back of the Benz. No bullshit. Go back and look at that shit. Then he fought Jose Mariscal. That was when he broke his arm in the first round or something. He got, I think, on a second round. He got in a takedown or something, defending a takedown. So that was kind of a weird loss. The Gabriel Santos, look, I had Gabriel Santos. People were sleeping on Gabe Santos. This guy is fucking good. Don't take that loss for Jack Jenkins. That's a good loss right there. Because Gabriel Santos is a tough little motherfucker. This is a guy who debuted. Gabriel Santos debuted against Lerone Murphy. And I thought he beat Lerone Murphy. He's the closest to beating Lerone Murphy. It went to, I think, we'll see. Was it a split decision? It was a close fight. Really, he had a tough little stretch. It was a split decision. And then he fought David Onama. And he was winning that fight until he got caught in the second round. And then he came on. He's got a couple in a row. Listen, that's a good win for him. Jamal Emmers is a good win for him. That was a close fight. But this guy Jack Jenkins, man, he's got like EDC hands, I call them. They're like everyday carry hands. They're just nice, little nifty hands that you carry around. That can they're not like intricate or anything, but they get you by. They'll get you by in a situation, in a bad situation. He's got decent hands, but where he really works, he uses his kicks like Merab uses his takedowns. Like Merab's striking is good because of the threat of his takedowns, right? You start thinking about that shit, and then he's popping up, hitting you with hooks. Go watch the Yan fight. You can watch any fight really, but the Yan fight, it was really apparent. Shot 50 fucking takedowns. Yan stuffed all but like 11 of them, but he got outstruck in that fight. And you look at him outstriking guys like O'Malley, it's because they're the threat of the takedown. Well, Jack Jenkins he spams those leg kicks. Like Merab spams those level changes, get you thinking about that leg. He lands one, you're on fuck street. So now you start thinking about that shit, and then he can let go of his hands. But then what you really got to watch out for is answering that shin phone. Don't answer that shin phone because you start reaching for that. Once your legs get fucked up and you start reaching down to try to catch those leg kicks, that's when it comes high and you answer the shin phone. Hello? Is IP Freely there? Hello, IP Freely. IP Freely? Is there IP Freely? You never answer the shin phone. Let that shit go straight to voicemail. Jack Jenkins, that's his like special move. Fuck the shin. The leg kicks are like his. I guess that's his special move. But his fatality is the head kick, because you start looking at that shit and then he wraps that fucking right leg around your head. He even had, did he have Gabriel Santos? He landed it on Gabriel Santos in the first round. They almost got Gabriel Santos out of there in the first round, now that I'm remembering. Timon Tavares, a little Pumbaa sidekick over here. This guy's pretty good. He's solid. Good striking, nifty striking, another nifty striker. Tough loss to Davey Grant. Davey Grant's, listen. That's my dude. That's one of my favorite fighters is Wavy Davey. Wavy Davey Grant, baby. Wavy Davey Grant, baby. That's the sleeper of all sleepers right there, man. He's one of my best kept secrets, Davey Grant. When he fights again, we'll talk about Davey. But that's a good loss. Siri City, he fought him twice. He fought him on the card. Those are both two great fights. He could have won either one of those fights. He could have lost either one of those fights, and he could have won either one of those fights. He split those fights. The first one was on the Contender Series. Cartavius pretty solid win right there. This guy's good, but the problem with him, he's a little one-dimensional. He's got good hands. He's got good combinations. He's very hittable. He's a pocket striker, so he's gonna hang out there. He's gonna loiter in the pocket like '90s kids at the mall and shit. And he's gonna leave himself open to big shots. That's what he does. He's got no defensive awareness. I mean, this guy anticipates blowback like the CIA. Not at all. For all the shit they do, they never anticipate any blowback. Neither does Ramon Tavares. He'll land some nifty shit, and he'll just think you're just going to take it and walk away, not thinking that you're ever going to throw something back. And then he's getting lit up. Defensive awareness, like a Madden 40. I'd give him a Madden 40 on defensive awareness. That's his real basketball. Also, he's more of just a boxer. He doesn't use as many other techniques, no kicks and elbows and stuff like that. He's just a little more vanilla. This is a good fight. This is a real good fight. What are the odds on this one? Can't remember. Jenkins minus 300. Listen, these are wild odds. That leg kick is a motherfucker. Also, Jack Jenkins has some little takedowns in his back pocket. He can hit a little takedown if you start getting out of pocket, homies. He can get in there and get you to the mat and steal a close round at the end of it. Plus 250 for Mon Tavares. Listen, I think this is a little closer than the odds suggest. I'll say that much. But I'm going with Jack Jenkins. I think I'm gonna, I like the late TKO. I like a late TKO on that. I don't think that leg's gonna hold up for very long. I think it'll stay on the feet for most of the fight. I think Jack Jenkins, that leg kick is eventually gonna put a motherfucker down. All right, moving on. Who do we got next? We got Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. You remember when Jimmy Crute fought Anthony Smith? Motherfucking Anthony Smith made his leg look like the fucking Ash from Evil Dead hand. You remember that little hand coming around and he was like flipping him off across the fucking across the room and shit. He had to like cut off his hand and his hand ran around and tried to kill him and shit. That was Jimmy Crute's foot. After he got leg kicked by Anthony Smith, his fucking shit was dead. It looked like the control patient in the blue pill trials. His foot went completely fucking limp. It looked like it got whiskey sicked. It looked like it had too many shots of whiskey and took home a date that looked like Li Jingliang. That's what it looked like. I had that ED foot just fucking hanging there. Remember that shit? And it's like flopping around all nasty, sounded wet, just flopping around and shit. He couldn't like stand on it and shit. He got fucked up in that fight. And then after that, man, it was like kind of all downhill. Remember that shit? It was Jamal Hill. That was when Jamal Hill was on the rise. And then, this guy came into... This guy was like De Niro in Heat, stealing L's from the jaws of it. This guy was rolling up into the Dub World Bank, running away with ink-stained dubs, coming away with L's against Alonzo Menafield and Rodolfo Bellato. He had those fights won, all but one. He had Bellato fucking flopping around like a goddamn fish, all over that bitch. He was doing the fucking. He looked like he was doing. He was in the old Soul Train line. He was hitting some numbers going down the old Soul Train line, Bellato, and he still found the way to get out of that first round. And then he fought all the way to a draw. And Jimmy Crute basically blew his load in that first round, and then he fought to a draw after that. And then he came back and beat Marcin Prachnio, which was almost a bye week for him. We got good subs. That's what it is. This guy, Jimmy Crute, the problem with him is he kind of identifies as a striker, but he was born a grappler. He's got an identity crisis. He reminds me a lot of Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's major malfunction is that he's good striker. He's just good enough to give himself false confidence on the feet and not actually implement his grappling. That's what Jimmy Crute is. He's good enough on the feet to where he has this confidence where he doesn't feel urgent. There's no urgency to use his grappling, which is his actual, best, his best discipline is his grappling, his wrestling, grappling. Get you on the mat. He's a submission. This guy, he'll have you using that, but he'll have you wiping fucking southpaw in no time, have you fucking hooking up the bidet and lining up your booty hole over the stream. This guy uses those Kimuras. He'll fucking... Let me tell you about Kimuras. Probably, other than like heel hooks, Kimuras are the worst fucking submissions to get caught in. You before you know it, your shit's breaking and you can't wipe your ass for 6 months. It's fucking brutal. This guy's nasty with the Kimuras. I could see him landing a Kimura here. This was an armbar in his last one. He probably set it up with the Kimura. I like Jimmy Crute if he can get this fight to the ground. Listen, Ivan Erslan, he's 0-2 in the UFC, but he could easily be 2-0 in the UFC. These were both very close losses and two good opponents. Jan Kutalaba, I mean, that guy's fucking, who knows what, he's a world beater one night and just super average the next night. But Navajo Sterling, that guy, go look at the size of that guy's head, man. Impossible to hurt a guy like with a head his size. But they were both good fights. Ivan Erslan just a little too vanilla. He kind of reminds me of like a cross between Glover Teixeira, like on the feet striking, because he's not a grappler at all, as far as I've seen, and a cross between him and Krang's body. Who? What's his name? Uzdemir, Volkan Uzdemir, aka Krang's body. He looks like Krang's body. Go look at Krang's body in the old TVs. Krang was a little brain in the belly of that big robot looking dude. Volkan Uzdemir looks like Krang's body. That's what Ivan Erslan reminds me of. He's got this real tight short hook kind of, just basic 1 2 3s, 2 3s, combinations, for all people who don't know, 1 jab, the 2 cross, 3 hook. So you say the 2-3, 2-3 cross hook, something like that. So if you ever wonder about the punches, 1 2 3 4 uppercut, 5 6. Those are the punches. So you hear 6-2 boom, or 6-3 boom boom. If you hear 5-2 boom boom, something like that. And you can add numbers and you can make whatever if you want to whatever you got, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, that's basic Ivan Erslan. He's very basic, very vanilla. If you walked into Baskin Robbins and you see all those 31 flavors laid out, he's the fucking vanilla all the way in the corner that's like got a pristine top on it. No, there's not even a fucking sample spoon, a divot taken out of that shit, because nobody wants that shit. There's like, dude, it's just very plain. When you got all these other options, he's just very plain. He's that vanilla ice cream at a Baskin Robbins. The last thing you're going to go in there for is a vanilla ice cream. He's very vanilla extract is Erslan, but he's got power. He's got power, and I can tell you this. If he can get out of the first round, I don't know much about his ground game, but if he gets out of the first round, it's going to be problems for Jimmy Crute again. But I think Jimmy Crute, I think he's got to get this done early. I like playing this for a first round submission for Crute. For Ivan Erslan, I could see a late TKO or a decision. He can win this fight. What's the odds on this one? I forgot to check the other one too. Ramon Tavares. Oh, I did check that. Crute -215 plus 178, 180 for Ivan Erslan. Listen, he's a live dog. He's a live dog here. If he can get out of that first round, I don't know how much. If he can stuff a couple takedowns, Jimmy Crute will abandon that shit, and he can win the stand-up for sure. He can win the stand-up, especially when he starts attacking that leg. Take that Anthony Smith route, dog. Attack that leg. Give him that ED. Give him that ED leg. Then we got Jake Matthews, a.k.a. Jake Matthews Band, a.k.a. I didn't know you like to get wet, Jake Matthews. And then Neil Magny. Can't keep running away. That's Neil Magny's hairline. That's near his hair be running back like Saquon Barkley doing 360 fucking spins over defenders and shit. Like mine. Look at this shit. My shit looks like a fucking brush fire got stomped out. I got that Fire Marshal Bill hairline. My hairline and Neil Magny's hairline are like fucking Lightning McQueen and the King and Chick Hicks at the end of the first race where they all finished head and head. That's how we're. My hairline's leaning out here with my tongue trying to break it before Neil Magny's hairline reaches back there. We're both chasing. They're both our hairlines are neck and neck with each other, but who's gonna reach the back first? So I always got love. But you know what? Neil Magny's hair is still just like mine. We're still standing here screaming "fuck the free world," huh? Neil Magny. Dude, Neil Magny. What can I say about Neil Magny? He's a live ass dog again. I don't just when I start to fade this guy out, fade the black. He starts winning fights again. Not Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, murderers row right there. Those are killers. Ian Gary after that. I mean, before that. Look at these losses. And then Elizu Dos Santos, that was a huge win. He got held down. That's the thing about Neil, man. If he gets taken down in the first round with Neil Matthews, there's no urgency from his back. His back game and then his top game are just completely different. He wants to give it to you. He ain't much from the bottom though, man. He ain't fun. I mean, you on the top, beating on him. He's just laying there looking at you, just like you just start feeling like self-conscious, like you don't even know if you're doing a good job or not. If you should just roll off and just kind of call it a night or what. Like he just looks like he's just waiting for it. He's checking the clock and shit. He's got his cigarette already on the nightstand ready while you're on top of him beating his ass. But from the top position, he'll fucking pile drive your ass. He'll give it to you. He'll give it to you Brazzer style from the top. Don't sleep on Elizu or on Neil Magny's top game. But he ends up on his back, man. He's got that rigor mortis guard. I mean, he fucking... So you never know what you're going to get with Neil Magny. Which Neil Magny? Is he going to come in there and want to actually win? Is he not? I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. But, Jake Matthews... Same thing with him. Here's the thing about Jake Matthews. These guys have been in the game almost as long as each other. I think Neil Magny debuted a year before Jake Matthews. This guy's been in the game for a while. Look at these dubs, though. Look, Chitty was like his best win. Li Jingliang back in the day, but then Chitty was probably his best. Francisco Prado. That's a lightweight. That's the spring break, the MTV spring break striker. I call that dude. Philip Rowe. That's the guy on fucking Dirty Jobs. He beat the dude on Dirty Jobs. Philip Rowe. Michael Morales, they both send in Michael Morales, Father's Day, Hallmark cards on Father's Day. Darius Flowers, that's a weak win. Go look at those Darius Flowers. He's not in there. Summelsberger getting knocked out by Summelsberger. He's got a hell of a right hand, so I'm not going to hate on that one. Andre Fialho, he that guy was a fucking... He's the fucking meat slab hanging in Rocky, where Rocky's in the meat cooler hitting the meat slab. That's Andre Fialho. If you look closely, it's actually Andre Fialho hanging there while Rocky's beating his ass. Sean Brady, that's not a bad loss. So you look at all the good fighters he fights, decent fighters he fights, he loses to them. Except for this guy. And his wins are kind of Diego Sanchez. And then you look at Neil Magny's, and it's just not. There's no comparison. I mean, this guy has lost to better fighters than Matthews has fought. It's crazy. They've been in the game nearly as long, and their paths, to this point, have been completely different. I mean, look at the guys this guy's fighting: Ian Gary, Gilbert Burns, Daniel Rodriguez, Shavkat, Jeff Neal, Chiesa, Robbie Lawler. I mean, Ponzinibbio. That was I remember that. Damn, he's fought a lot. Carlos Condit, Rafael Dos Anjos. Johnny Hendricks when he was roided the fuck up. Lorenz Larkin, I think he's still around fighting. He's a hell of a motherfucker. Beat Hector Lombard back in the day. Gastelum, got a dub against Gastelum back in the day when he was still fighting at 170. I mean, Demi and Maya fought Demi and Maya. I mean, come on, man. The resumes aren't even, they're not even, comparable. Listen, I'm going to pick Jake Matthews because I don't trust Neil Magny to get back to his feet. I really don't. But Neil Magny can win this fight. I'm betting if you want to bet, if you want the value is on Neil Magny. Let's see, he's got to be a dog. I remember he's a dog. Huge dog, plus 325, minus 435 for Jake Matthews. Listen, the value is 100% on Neil Magny. I don't know if he can finish Jake Matthews. A late TKO or something like that might be in the play, but I just play him straight up at plus 325. Play him straight up. I mean, that's the value in this in this one. Is a Neil Magny upset. He can win this fight, especially keeps it at range. Who knows? Maybe at the end in the third round, he can end up in the top position. He's gonna have to get up from his feet though early. If Jake Matthews wrestles, Jake Matthews can't be trusted to wrestle. He might go out there and fall in love with his striking, like he's been known to do. And if that happens, Neil Magny will get him. So the pick is Matthews, but the bet is gonna be Neil Magny. I'm hedging. I'm hedging like that. I'm putting my money where my mouth isn't on this one. Solid fight though. That's a pretty solid little fight. Don't sleep on that little scrap. And then you got Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. This is a nice little scrap. This is a battle of range. Tom Nolan's a long, lanky and janky. That's a deadly combination like Tupac and Big L. Lanky and janky. This motherfucker's long. Noodle. Those inflatable dudes outside of the 15-minute, the wavy arm inflatable dudes outside the 15-minute oil change spot that go like this and shit. That's Tom Nolan. That's how his striking reminds me. He's got those wet noodle arms that very hittable. I remember he got knocked out by somebody. Ashmoose? Did he get knocked out by Ashmoose? Who knocked him out? No, Nicholas Moda knocked him out. He beat Brogdon Grad. He's a tough little guy. He's got some good wins. Vyacheslav Borshev. That's a decent win. I mean, Borshev has no ground game. I can't remember if he took him down or what, but if no one took him down or what. But Tom Nolan, he's okay. Charlie Campbell, listen, you remember this guy on the... by the way, again, I'm going to tell y'all, you should be watching the Contender Series. These things are nuts. These are nuts. The last couple of weeks have been nuts. Charlie Campbell, I remember him. He was on the Contender Series. He fought Chris Duncan right here. This was he had Chris Duncan out on his feet, fucking wobbled, fucking... fucking looking drunk, walking the line on the side of the road and shit. I mean, he was super fucked up. And then Chris Duncan just literally just at one point, while what's my man, Charlie Duncan came running in for the kill shot. No offense, y'all. No offense. No pun intended. Charlie going in for the kill shot. No pun intended. Chris stopped on a diamond and just threw this overhand right that Charlie ran right into and got flatlined. Great fight. And you've seen Chris Duncan, that fight he just had, fight of the year candidate against Rizbecki, Mateus Rubecki. Yep. And you can see Manuel Torres is his only loss in the UFC, and that guy's a motherfucker. He's like a true value Carlos Prates. Charlie Campbell, he's got slick striking. He's got to get inside and unleash combinations. He's got to extend combinations in the pocket. Tom Nolan has to keep his range. I think Tom Nolan's definitely going to be the favorite here. I can't remember, but I'm gonna go with Charlie Campbell plus 127, minus 147 for Tom Nolan. I think Charlie Campbell's got some slick striking, man. I know he's coming off of a win against Trevor Peek. He kind of used some wrestling in there and wasn't really himself. I like him. Alex Reyes has got some. He's a slick little dude too. Now maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, I'm thinking of some. They both lost. They both beat Tom Nolan. I mean, they both beat Alex Reyes. Give me Charlie Campbell. I think he's a little slicker. Tom Nolan definitely should be the favorite, but I'm gonna take a dog right there in Charlie Campbell. Justin Taffa versus Louis Sutherland. Listen, this is a fight. This is a fight you would witness while pumping gas at a Buc-ee's gas station. You know what I mean? You can play these guys in beaver nuggets. This is a Love's Truck Stop, Lot Lizard Invitational, undisputed crown champion fucking scrap right here. This is a truck stop scrap if I've ever seen. This is a slobber knocker, emphasis on the slobber. Louis Sutherland, don't know much about this guy. He looks like a retired WWF wrestler. He looks. I said on my blog that he looks like the guy on the Weight Gain 4000 commercials. Will Cartman with the Weight Gain 4000. This is what this guy looks like. He's just a big, he's like those kind of fat dudes that are kind of buff at the same time. They're like fat, but they never lost weight. They just put muscle on top of it, just shooting themselves with shit and whatever the fuck. Not that he does. I'm not insinuating anything like that. 10-3, big striker. I mean, he seems like the more technical guy. Let me get a little sip of water. Oof. All right, I'm back. He's a more technical striker. Justin Taffa, listen, I don't know if Sutherland has any takedown game, but the Taffa brothers have the worst takedown defense in the world, like ever in the history of the world. I mean, these guys can't stay on their feet. They couldn't stay on their feet walking through my fucking living room with all my kids' toys and shit and Legos and shit strewn about. They fucking end up on their back, no doubt. I mean, there's no way. I mean, if Sutherland has any kind, I mean, all he has to do is lean on Justin Taffa. When you walk into a convenience store like a 7-Eleven and you walk in and you get hit with that breeze right when you walk, that'll put Justin Taffa and Junior Taffa on their backs and coming looking like fucking turtles trying to get back up to their feet and shit, like little roly polies or some shit. So, I mean, if Louis Sutherland you see him, shoot a takedown or something, it's over. It's over. Justin Taffa's going home. But Justin Taffa's a better kickboxer, I'll tell you that. Nasty with his hands. Look, it don't look like much. It looks like Lizzo getting out of a pool when he throws it. But that right leg head kick is kind of like Derek Lewis's head kick. That shit's, just oddly nimble and gets to the target, kind of quick for a fucking big man. That's Justin Taffa, or maybe it's Junior Taffa that does it. I don't know. They look the exact same, man. Listen, if Junior can do it, Justin can do it. They got those nasty high kicks that come out of nowhere. You wouldn't even think a guy like that could get their leg up like that high. Give me Justin Taffa. What's the odds on this one? Pretty much even. It's basically a pick'em. I wouldn't be surprised. Louis Sutherland, I mean, if he doesn't get knocked out in the first, round, he'll probably go on the win just because he's a more technical fighter. And he could probably, I don't know, throw a little fucking Mario Kart banana peel down somewhere and fucking Taffa will trip and land on his back at some point. And Sutherland could just lay there for a round or two and wins. But the play for Justin Taffa, TKO KO, straight up. Louis Sutherland, I like playing him for a decision. I think if he wins, I think he goes to a decision. He could knock out Justin Taffa. Definitely got power. When you're that as big as this fucking guy, you can knock out anybody. But give me Justin Taffa. I'm gonna stick with. Damn it. I'm gonna stick with the proven commodity. I think you got Louis Sutherland making his debut from whatever the fuck LFL is. He was in Bellator also. Lost in Bellator. PFL also in PFL. I think I watched one of those PFL fights of his. Where are we at? Navajo Sterling. We'll go quick now. Navajo Sterling versus Rodolfo Bellato. Listen, this is a tough fight. Listen, Bellato is just goddamn. This guy's actually. Let me take that back from earlier. This guy is the slab of meat in the fucking meat locker that Rocky is beating the shit out of in there. This guy, I mean, he's the guy that got whooped by a Crute and then came back and fought to that's in every fight. Every fight, this guy ends up bloody, broken, and battered, fucking stumbling around like a fucking zombie in the first round and then, comes back on some shit. I don't know if he can do that against Navajo Sterling. Now, look at that head on Navajo Sterling. This skull side shape right here, you can't knock these motherfuckers. He's got to be from Kazakhstan or something. He's from New Zealand. Okay. Well, by way of where? I don't know. Listen, look at this head. Look at this fucking head. This head right here, you can't knock these dudes out. That head shape is just like that. That's that Mo Sislak head. Tell me that ain't Mo Sislak's profile right there. A flaming Mo right there. This motherfucker's about to hit a flaming Mo right there. That's that Mo Sislak forehead, that slanty down that looks like the side, the roof, like a roof, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you can't knock these dudes out. You can't hurt these dudes. These are like cinder blocks you're punching here, man. Give me Navajo goddamn Sterling. I think... Give me a TKO. Give me a late TKO. I can see it going. I think there's value in a decision, but Rodolfo's chin, I just don't trust it. Conclat, Sufasaria, a.k.a. Loma Lukbumi versus Alexa Thanar. This is a tough fight to pick. I love me some Loma Lukbumi. She's nifty little straight up out of 1FC fucking Muay Thai fighter. The problem with her is she doesn't use her Muay Thai very much. She likes to wrestle. She likes to grapple. She has nifty little Muay Thai trips. And likes to ride out top control. She doesn't have much of a submission game for as many takedowns as she gets in fights. Only one submission to touch. She's just trying to control fights. I'd like to see her let her hands go and her feet go and just stand and bang and really commit to her Muay Thai. She's going to have to do that because she can't beat Alexa Thainara on the mat. That's where she wants to be. That's her shit. Chances are Thainara takes down Loma and holds her down for a better part of 3 rounds and walks away with a decision. 8 subs. She beat Molly McCann which is the same very much, but subbed her with the fucking quickness in her debut after Contender Series. I think there's value in Loma. Plus 200, minus 240. That's just the ground games. Loma's got a good ground game. Takedown defense is a little bit suspect. She'll spend some time on her feet. Did she fight? Am I tripping or did she fight Godinez at one point? Yeah, she lost to Godinez. She did lose to Godinez. That fight could look a lot like this fight. She got held down, couldn't get back to her feet. So I think there's value in Loma. I love me some Loma Luke Boomy, but give me Alexa Thainara. Give me a decision right there. Cameron Roston versus Andre Petrosky. You never know what you can get from Andre Petrosky, man. Cameron Roston, he's making his debut off of the Contender Series. This guy reminds me of like a software updated Nico Price. That's what he's like, a new Nico Price. He's like a refurbished Nico Price. It's like, when they bring something back, like they're bringing back the new Griffey shoes. He's like the new, when they brought back the Camaro with the new body style and shit. That's Cameron Roston is that version of Nico Price. Another one of these guys from Australia with the what is he from? Kickboxing. With these, you see these guys, they all got their hands like out here. They always hold their hands out like they're like robots, very very upright, not very much movement, but just this really robotic what's it called, the rock'em sock'em robotish. That's kind of what they are. Andre Petrosky, he could ground this fight and roll out to a decision victory. That's probably what he's gonna do. He's got some power on his feet, but he's a wrestler striker. I talked about it last time. Wrestler strikers are they basically just got a right hand or a left hand, depending on their stance, but a right hand and a left hook. But they're usually super fucking fast and explosive because they're used to shooting. They can throw right hands. They use the right hand to close the distance instead of like lead hands or combinations. They use just a straight up right hand because they're used to shooting takedowns. So they got a lot of power in those right hands. The guy I always say is like a Matt Hughes or a Michael Chandler. Those are who I use as my example of wrestler strikers. Andre Petrosky is that. He's got a big, I think he might even be a southpaw, big overhand left. But that's about it. If he gets stuck on his feet, it's all Cameron Roston. But can Roston get to his feet if he gets taken down? Can he stay on his feet? I don't know. What are we looking at over here? Cameron Roston plus 163, minus 190 for Petrosky. Give me the dog. Give me Cameron Roston. Give me the dog. Oh, they barking. They're gonna be barking. I think he can be if he can shuck off a couple takedowns. He can get Petrosky on the feet. But he's very hittable too on the feet. Colby Thicknesse versus Josias Musasa. This guy Musasa looks like he's got all the physical, long, powerful, fast attributes. Colby Thicknesse. I know I watched him. Thicknesse, what a name. Colby Thicknesse. I like my ladies like I like my last name. Thicknesse. The slickness, thickness. Okay. Listen, I like what he's doing here. I remember he came in. Yeah, he debuted against Ilya's brother. Went to a decision against him. Ilya was kind of toying with him in that fight. He just looks kind of average. He's just an average dude. I like Messias in this fight. I think he goes the distance, though. I think he can go the distance. I think Messias got a dub in his debut. Jamie Mullarkey, this guy used to be my dog, man. He's the little duty you can't flush, man. He's that duty you're on the fucking toilet fucking looking like a back that ass up duty. You looking like a juvenile backup dancer shaking fucking twerking on the toilet trying to shake off that duty, trying to pinch that one off. That's duty. That's Jamie Mullarkey. The duty you can't flush, the duty you can't pinch off, just won't go away. Used to be an undercover sleeper. I used to ride this guy to some underdog wins, but his chin ain't the same no more. It just ain't the same no more. He was this guy. You take one look at this guy. Don't fuck with guys. We all had guys like this on our soccer teams growing up with the blonde eyebrows. It looks like they don't even have eyebrows. You know those dudes that you always had one of these dudes on your soccer team. Maybe your little league team, but you always had these dudes. You never want to fuck with these guys. The guys with the blonde eyebrows, don't fuck with those guys. They've been through a lot. They walking around having to draw on eyebrows in second grade and shit. They don't want to they don't got time for your shit. Trust me, don't fuck with dudes. I told my kid the other day. I told my little man, he's only in first grade. I said, "You see that kid over there? The little, they're like kind of ginger. They might even be ginger. They're on the ginger spectrum. These guys, Jamie Mullarkeys of the world. You see, you don't got no eyebrows, dog. You stay away from that motherfucker right there. Those blonde eyebrows, you stay the fuck away from him. But listen, Mullarkey's been getting. He got hoofied. Little did he know if he just got out of the first round, he would have won that fight. Nasrat, listen. Speed on speed, aka Baby Gastelum. No shame in that. He's got some. Naimov is a tough little motherfucker too. Jalen Turner. That's this guy's got Ferris Ziem. That guy still hasn't lost. This guy, so he's got his losses came to very good fighters, all good fighters. Beat Michael Johnson. That was a close fight. Michael Johnson could have won that fight. This, he's got the takedowns in his back pocket. This guy Rolando Bedoya. I don't know what to make of this guy. 3 straight dubs. I mean, he's got decent striking. That Kalen Williams fight wasn't bad. He's just, I think he's coming down in weight now from 170 to 155. He just had no power. Oh, he did against Jai Herbert. Listen, he's just kind of janky, man. He's got slick striking. He's just got no fucking his hands when they land, they make like little boinking sounds, like when you squeeze a clown's nose, they go or a dog chew toy. They sound like dog chew toy sounds when bing 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 when his shit lands. no shit. That's what I say. He's got no power in his hands. He's like the Amish people, no power. He's like the American people, no power. He's got some decent striking and hit you with some clean shit, and you just walk right through it. Jamie Malarkey, put this guy on his ass. Jamie Malarkey, put Bedoya on his motherfucking ass. Don't stand up there and strike with him. Malarkey will have, a little bit of the advantage inside the pocket. Bedoya is like more of a rangy fighter, but, it's a toss-up on the feet. Malarkey needs to use his wrestling. If he can get this guy to the ground, he needs to do that. Minus 120 favorite. Bedoya will return even. Give me Malarkey on the decision, man. I love me some Jamie Malarkey. Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina. Montague kind of looks like a CrossFit striker. I don't know much about her. Luana Carolina, whatever. She's long and she's decent striker, and length is always a motherfucker. So just give me Luana Carolina. Brando Parachich and Alicia Ellison. These are like 2 heavyweight guys that are making their debut from something. I picked Brando. I watched him. Let me see. I think he was the favorite too. Minus 230 favorite, plus 190. Who the fuck knows about that one? But just give me Brando just to round it out. And just so you know, all the picks, if you need to go back, they're all on here. My sleepers, I'm looking at Jonathan Metcalf. McAuliffe. What happened in the McAuliffe fight? Did we lose the McAuliffe fight? Oh, we lost the McAuliffe fight. Damn it. Oh, I gotta change that. Who was he set to fight? Oban Elliott. That's right. Oban's off. That was a good fight. Damn it. We lost the Oban Elliott fucking fight. Well, I shouldn't have had that. Got Urslan. I got my sleepers. Who am I picking for my 2020 sleepers? Dominic Cruz. These are the underdogs I'm picking. Dominic Reyes, Neil Magny, Ivan Urslan. I like Urslan if he can go up there. Kind of some, not great dogs this week. But there's the pick 'em, motherfuckers. There's the goddamn pick 'em. It's like this and like that. Next week, what do we got up on next week? Let's see. Oh, we got the big one next week. We got Pereira versus Ankalaev 2 next week. So this is gonna be a fucking banger. I'll probably just leave it like that. I'll step out. I don't know if I'm gonna do another cast. We'll get into the more of the politics stuff in another time. I'm just gonna keep this a straight up UFC. Where is this one? This one's in New Zealand or something. So it's probably going to be early. What is this? UFC Auckland or something? UFC Perth. So it's probably going to be early in the morning or something. So I'll be late on this one. I'll be watching it later in the day. But happy fight day. Real quick, what do we see? We got MLB playoffs coming up. We got NHL and NBA coming up. Cowboys. Let's talk Cowboys real quick before I get out of here. What's the fucking talk about? I mean, I don't know what to... this is exactly what I was... This is what you're gonna get, man. This is what you're gonna get when you hire a fucking reject coach. I mean, this is a guy who has been... Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him for 28 years. He comes in here, I had a decent game against Philly. The only reason that wasn't a fucking blowout in the end is because it was an hour and a half long delay and shit. Lightning delay or something. You remember that shit? Second, I mean, we gave up 40 to Russell Wilson in the second week against the Giants. 450 yards passing. They just put in that Jackson Dart guy. They saw enough of Russell after throwing 450 yards and like 3 or 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys. They gave him one more week and then said, "Get him the fuck out of here." That's how bad the Cowboys defense is. Unbelievably awful. I mean, they turned this dude Williams. What's his name? I don't even fucking know. Jalen Williams. I don't know his fucking. Caleb Williams. They turned this guy into fucking Mike Vick out there. I don't know what the fuck. Unreal. I mean, he looked like goddamn Patrick Mahomes throwing down the field at will. Fucking Trayvon Diggs is Dunskies. This guy don't even want to be out there. Get this guy off the goddamn. Get him off the goddamn field. This guy's, anytime you run past, I mean, you just run right past him. They're not even giving him double moves. They're not giving him. They're just running right past this guy every goddamn time. Just throwing bombs to him. This is like turkey bowl shit at your fucking park down the street. That's what this guy. I mean, this is that. There was on the Madden like 1997 to the 2000s versions of Madden. I'm aging myself. I know, dating myself. There was always this play where your left wide receiver would go like this and then go up, and then if you waited like 1, 2, 3 and just tap the button, it would always fucking connect. So you'd play, and if the computer started getting you, started eating your ass a little bit, you always had that in your back pocket. Okay, they went up. Okay, no, you're not. Okay, I get the ball back. No, you're not. Now I'm taking the lead. That's exactly how it is against the Cowboys. When you just line somebody up against Trayvon Diggs and it's that play, call that play, run the out, and you wait 1, 2, and then just fucking throw the ball, and it's gonna be boom, touchdown. You jumping into the fucking stands. I mean, every goddamn stadium is the Lambeau Leap now. So Trayvon Diggs is trash. The offense. I mean, we get Bland back. We re-signed him for a big contract. That'll help. Who else were we missing? I think we're missing some big names. Overshown, obviously. Overshown, we can get him back in linebacker. Who knows what he's not going to be. I'm not expecting anything if he comes back. I would say I wouldn't even want him to come back. I know they're talking about bringing him back soon. Overshown. Was it an Achilles or an ACL? I can't remember. I thought it was an Achilles. If that's the case, man, he's not going to be anything for a while, man. You come back. It takes a year to get back from the injury just to get on the field, and it takes a year after being on the field before you're anything close to what you were before then. It's a 2-year injury. So I'm not expecting Overshown to come back and make any kind of, immediate impact on this defense. This team is whack. You got Matt Eberflus as your fucking defense. This was the dumbest motherfucker. You remember last year with the I forget who they were playing, and he fucked up the whole end of the game with the clock management. He wasn't calling the timeout, and they I can't even remember the situation. I think I don't know. I wrote about it on the blog or some shit. I can't remember how bad it was, but that guy should have been kicked off the goddamn out of the NFL. He should have been exiled like fucking Simba. After he gets accused of killing his father and shit, he should have been exiled like that shit. But here we fucking are. No, and he's our defensive coordinator. That's what they did. They went to a fucking reject coach, the fucking the lifetime bridesmaid, never the fucking bride, in Marty Schottenheimer's kid. And then they went to Matt Eberflus. They got the jackass of all jackasses from last year. I mean, this guy was in the not top 10, was the not top 10 number 1 play of the year fucking last year was Matt Eberflus fucking up that Bears win last year. So it's not going to get any better. You can't beat the Bears. Who the fuck are you going to beat? I don't even know who do we got this week. Let's see. Let me look up. I don't even care now. That's the thing, man. That's what they've done to me now. That's what they've done to me. I didn't expect anything this year or last year. I don't expect to make the playoffs. I think we're a bottom 5 team. We're looking at a top 5 draft pick. We got the Packers. Oh, on Sunday night. Great. The Packers did lose to Cleveland, but they're not going to lose to us. Are we at home? We're at home. Don't matter. I went to the one home game I went to, one time I went to Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, where they played the Packers and Aaron Rodgers in 2017, and fucking last minute fucking Dak took the lead with 1 minute left in the game, and then Aaron Rodgers came right down and stole it from us. Came right in under a minute. Packers always beat our ass. Always beat. I don't remember the last time we beat the Packers, especially in the playoffs. So I'm taking an L. That's an L. I don't see us winning. This is not a good team. Offensively, you saw CeeDee Lamb go out. We didn't have much after that. I still like George Pickens. I think he can be there, but he's more of a supplemental type dude. CD's a big part of all that shit. He can take a lot of attention off down the field, open rooms to run. I will say this: for Ferguson, had 12 catches last week for 80 something yards, not getting out down the field very much, but that's because you don't have anybody to run deep routes or anything to give him some space. So that's good though. It's good that his hands were there, but other than that, I like, the really, if you want to look at the game, it was Devontae Williams fumbling that ball. You get a 20-yard gain or something right off on the first drive, and then you get ripped. You get ripped like that shit, and they go right down and score. That's it. And the Cowboys are gonna lose when they win the toss and they choose to receive. It's over. They're the only dumb motherfuckers in the history of the game that do that every year. That no matter who the coach is, they want the ball first, which is a complete and utter fucking disadvantage. It works against you every single fucking time. You always need that possession first in the second half. It always comes down to that because they score last and then they get the ball back every single fucking time. And we don't do shit with the opening drive anyways. So, Dak looked like, he looked good in the first 2 weeks. They didn't have much. He looked all right in the first half, and then it just got ugly, and they pulled his ass, and who knows. All right, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I've spent enough of your time. Nobody's going to watch this shit anyways. I'm going to watch it. Give myself another courtesy watch. Anyways, if you do watch this, hope you had a good time. I'll see y'all next week. We'll do some fights next week. And maybe I'll do a Ticks cast or something like that after, or something like that. But anyways, Whiskey Sick Podcast, Seth Gecko, aka Moody Hank, free Palestine, from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Occupy Palestine will be free from the West Bank all the way across. Free Palestine. Love y'all motherfuckers. I'm out.